Ta-da. The title of my speech tonight may seem a little vague, except for those of us who have been around more than 10 years and have listened to a certain late, not dead, but late president who was on MSNBC the other day. And after having talked to the little talking heads on MSNBC, one of them asked him a rather pertinent and interesting question. And that was, do you believe that the President of the United States should be able to go for another term if they have had two? And Bill Clinton, as he so often does, in his rather charismatic manner, sat back, sort of grinned, gave his charm, and said, well, yes, I do. I believe that the President of the United States, after they've served two terms, if there's an intervening period of time, should be allowed to go for another term. Of course, this opens up the possibility of us having Bill back again. It opens up the possibility of us having our current president back again. It also brings up the possibility of George Senior Bush coming back again and running. Oh, what a wonderful series of choices we have. Even George W., with some of his progressive moves that we have come to realize. At first I thought George W. was really beating the Democrats at their own game because I didn't know what progressivism was. Now that I know what it is, I realize he's one of them in some respects. He still loves his country. He still is a progressive who wants to use money to solve problems. Speaking of which, back to MSNBC. I really love that. I don't have cable. I do have Glenn, GBTV, love it. I only get to watch it fully one day a week and partial programs the rest of the time, except for tonight when I don't watch it at all. But MSNBC has had a whole bunch of people on there really pushing the limit on our Constitution. It's really interesting because, of course, our current president just recently said that he is tired of waiting on Congress to change the laws. And when he was speaking to that wonderful conservative group so tightly related to the 9/12 group, La Raza, half of whom are illegals, but I didn't mention that. He said, I know you want me to do the laws myself. Forget Congress, let the president write the laws. Now here, in 3 minutes, I've said two things that 10 years ago would never have been brought up. No one in their wildest imaginations would have ever said something like either what Bill Clinton said or what Barack Obama said, because they are both unconstitutional. Sort of like Obamacare. Do we love our country? Do we understand our Constitution enough to be able to defend it? Do we understand that there is a constitutional amendment in there that says a president can only have 2 terms? Oh, how wonderful it would be if we could get a constitutional amendment that would limit terms in Congress. And another constitutional amendment. I don't think progressives ever bring these up that says, hey, not only are we going to put term limits on Congress, but those of us who serve you, the House of Representatives, the Senate, and everyone else in the federal government and the unions must live by the laws that you live by. Did you know that the unions can get away with murder if they're out doing union activities? Because violence is excluded from the law under federal law. Which means that if a union member is out trying to start something, another union, trying to build his union, that he can get involved in violence and not be prosecuted for it. Last night, I was on the phone for a good 30 minutes with a gentleman who was calling out of Lakeland. I found that out at the end of the conversation because I gave him a little bit of information. He was asking me, what are your opinions on the Congress, the economy, and something that would never come up 2 years ago, the unions. There were a whole bunch of questions on my opinions on the unions. Jack, how do you feel about the unions? Jack, how are the unions affecting the economy? Jack, how are things boom, 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 boom? And I had a whole range of opinions. I think I may get a call back. I gave them some very good opinions from a pro-American point of view, but not from the point of view of the people who were probably paying for that survey. All we can do, whether we want to criticize Bill Clinton, we want to hang Herman Cain for his peccadillos if they in fact turned out to be true, which in that case he should not be president, any more than Bill. I don't want another Bill and Hill back in the White House. I don't want Herman Cain in the White House if he did what he is accused of. If he didn't, then I'd say, let's put a crown on him. Let's make him president for 2 terms. Sounds good to me. Thank you.